Hey guys, welcome to Project Metal Music's YouTube channel with your host Del Young, and we are here with the brilliant Gary Moat. Welcome, Gary.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Yeah. So, Gary, um, could you introduce yourself and what you do?
Yeah, my name's Gary, and I am the singer, frontman, and songwriter for a band called Burnt Out Wreck at the moment.
Cool. Cool. Yeah. So, Gary, let's dive into some questions. As a kid, what were you listening to?
Oh, well, as a kid, well, come on, I'm 64 years of age, last month, in fact. And so, as a kid in the 60s, raised on by my mother, the Beatles, I suppose, and anything that was in the charts, anything at all. And then obviously sitting in front of Top of the Pops for your life.
Mhm.
So all sorts of music, love all sorts of music, and but obviously something within that said to me, "You need to be a drummer." So that's what happened in there, and I became a drummer. So yeah,
Cool.
that's it.
Yeah. Cool. So, um, who actually got you into sort of like listening to like music? Obviously, you said your mother had a big like sort of like big influence getting you to listen to the Beatles. Was there anybody else who got you sort of like check this band out, or was it a journey of self discovery?
Um, yeah, I mean, as I say, I started watching the drummers on the TV and just thinking, yeah, I quite like that. That looks like fun, doesn't it? So get the pots and pans out the cupboard and annoy my parents with the racket in the kitchen, and then eventually they bought me a drum kit. But the so you're watching. I mean, what are we talking about? We're watching people like Slade and Sweet, the glitter band, two drummers in the glitter band. Why, who wouldn't want to be that, and I think at the time I was in the Boys Brigade as well, and I was really wanting to play a snare drum. So, but as an individual person, I don't remember, anybody that was a musician in the family saying to me or that. So it's just my schoolmates at school who just, I remember one of them called Buggy, and he was mad for T-Rex, and he used to have the big feather boa, and come on, you're talking about people at 10, 11, 12 years of age, and he's vamping it up. Marvelous. But so we all loved all sorts of music, like I said.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, of all the bands that you've listened to over the years, who was the sort of like the main influence, or was there several influences to say, I want to become a drummer?
Um, the main influences, uh, yeah, I mean, John Coughlin, I suppose. We were mad, mad Status Quo fans, and were early days, early teens, and remained so for life, obviously. And it was great because Burnt Out Wreck actually supported the John Coughlin band. About 4 or 5 years ago, 5 years ago, before COVID now, anyway, in Wolverhampton, and that was fantastic because I never dreamt that I'd get to meet the guy up close and personal, so that was really good. And apart from that, yeah, Cozy Powell coming on Top of the Pops on his own, playing what was it, Dance with the Devil, a
Yeah.
lot of old pots and pans getting knocked about there, I can tell you, but but he done it and it was great. So that was just to a little boy looking. I remember, that was it. I wanted a premier drum kit because that was, marvelous. Let's get that, never got one for years after that. But yeah, and Roger Taylor from Queen because, you know, he looked like a rock and roll god with a long blonde hair, and he could sing like he could sing in
Yeah.
high register, and yeah, they were brilliant. So yeah, just the bands of the day, definitely. But I'll go with those two anyway. Definitely, most definitely, is the main kind of things, characters.
Yeah, cool, cool. So, were you in any other bands prior to Burnout Red?
Yeah, in 19, myself and a guy called Gordon Bonner went to school together, in my teens, and he played guitar, and he said, "Oh, I hear you can play drums." I said, "Yeah." No, I'd only played the couch and a couple of old bits of drums. Anyway, and said, "Yeah, yeah." So we got together, and that was that. So all throughout our life, we were in various bands together, writing songs together, and other musicians coming in, and school friends and stuff, And then in 1981, we decided we better get a bit serious about it, and the around about the end of 82, 83, we signed to Polydor Records and became a band called Heavy Pettin, which I was the drummer in, and everything kicked off from there, really, and that was the first main band, and name band that I was in, really.
Yeah, cool, cool. So, what has you and the band been up to, especially over the last 12 months?
Well, we played some gigs last year. We don't really play a lot. We tend to try and go for festivals and stuff. And it's been the same this year. We've not had any gigs yet. And the first gig is upcoming this coming Sunday, and it's in Bromsgrove, at a festival in Bromsgrove that we're playing, and we're looking forward to that. We played it last year, and it was stonking. I'm a bit worried about the weather because it's awful hot, and the clubhouse that they've got there on camp, it's no central, no aircon. So I'm like, oh no, I think I need to go on with me speedos on and nothing else and shock them into it. Get me high, folks. What do you reckon?
Yeah. Yeah.
But that's the first gig. So then every month for the rest of the year, I think we've got a couple of good gigs. As I say, not not on my own. We're playing either supporting people or we are at festivals. I suppose the big one, or one of the big ones, is Bloodstock. We've been chasing and getting to Bloodstock for ages, and I didn't think that we would be a band that would maybe fit in with the metal music, as it were, because we're a bit more towards the AC/DC than the full-on metal.
Yeah.
But anyway, Motorhead headlined it, isn't it? So come on.
Yeah.
They just sound like AC/DC with a gruff singer. That's all.
True. So we've got a question from Lisaboo, who is all the way in Canada. She asks, "Do you have a favorite venue that you play in?"
Well, that we play in now. What's a good venue? I think that they're all good venues. I don't want to upset people, do you? But yeah, venues that we play in now. We tend to play festivals. So Bonfest in Kirriemuir was a good one because that's just great up in Scotland there. And I love playing in Bannerman's in Edinburgh. That's a very small and real up close personal kind of gig, But yeah, I'd go for a couple of them, really, A couple of them.
Cool. Cool. And we've got a question from Aussie Ann 2025, all the way from Australia. She asks, Any plans for Final?
Vinyl,
Yeah, Final Records.
no, in a word. Vinyl cost too much money. We wouldn't sell it, you know. It would cost me thousands, and I'd have them all stacked in the bedroom, and it would never happen. In the music industry, you need to be in a Judas Priest to be selling your multicolored vinyls and a pack of this and a pack of that, and you need to be a big band, and you need to be doing big arenas and stuff to be able to do that. And anybody that tells you different is just delusional. So they'll still have a stack of them in the corner, you know, and they never stop trying to punt them on on social media. Get this now, I'll sign it now, I'll give you a five, I'll take it. Forget it. I'm not doing that. No, that's not the way to go.
Thank you for that, Lisaboo and Ozzy.
Yes.
Have you sort of like released any new music? Have you been writing and recording new music?
I'm looking to possibly sometime at the end of the year start getting some recording together for hopefully our fourth album, because we're on my third at the moment, Stand and Fight. We've got Swallow, This Is Hell, and Stand and Fight. So Stand and Fight's been out now for a good 3-4 years now, maybe 3 years. It's just been a terrible time because of what happened to the world and how it made everybody feel and all the rest of it. Took the business time to get back together, and it hasn't stopped me writing songs, of course, because I write songs all the time, so material isn't the problem for me. Money might be the problem. I'm back to financing again, I still buy my lottery ticket, you never know, right?
Yeah. All right, we've got another question from Lisaboo, and she asks, "How does the band go about writing your songs? What comes first?"
I write the songs. The band play the songs live. They do as they're told. I also say about them with my feather duster. No, unfortunately, it's just I'm the singer, and songwriting's a difficult thing to do, and it would seem that even taking on my songs and playing them is a difficult thing to do for some folks, and I write my own tunes, and the band do a really good job.
Yeah. What when you write a song, what goes through your head first? Is it a melody, or is it the chorus, or a bridge, or is there sort of like you might hear sort of like a riff, like might crop up in your head?
Yes, it can be either or, all of those things, and it can hit you at any minute of the day or all night. It does. If you're lying there, you're waking up in the middle of the night, and something's niggling at you, and you can't get back to sleep, and all of a sudden you'll hear, "Oh, that sounds good. What sounds good?" And the next minute I'm up, and then I'm in this room here, which is my guitar room, and I'll be. And then it can be just something that I'm saying, or like you say, and you've got a guitar riff going through your head. Sometimes it's just a drum beat maybe or something. And so don't know. Songwriters are weird people. Very weird.
Yeah. Thank you for that, Lisa. So, is there any sort of like merchandise, like new merchandise that might be coming out?
We do have some merch, but we do sell it at gigs. We don't sell it online. We just don't. Again, it's all let's go spend thousands of pounds on t-shirts and keep them in a cupboard in the house, because we need to build up an audience that we as yet still do not have. So
Yeah.
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 So
Yeah.
yeah, at gigs. Sorry, just at gigs.
Yeah. 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 Cool. So you mentioned you've got a couple of gigs coming up. Now, Ozzy normally asks this: if you had the finances and everything is all the stars aligned, everything you've got all the financial backing and stuff like that, would you do like a full blown UK tour, or possibly go into Europe or Canada or Australia for a tour?
Yeah, we love to go anywhere. If we had the backing and it's possible to go do it. We have got some offers to go into Europe, but again, it's just whether or not they feel that they can afford to bring the band over from the UK, and and that's that. Really, it's not really up to us. We obviously can't fund it off of our own back. So yeah, the money has to be there.
Yeah, true, true. Yeah, yeah. So, is where can people find you on social media?
Well, Facebook and just spunkoutret.com, I suppose. Some Twitter and yeah, a bit of TikTok. I'm not hot on all that. I'm not. I don't keep coming on it and annoying everybody every 2 minutes of every day, because yeah, I'd rather be doing something else in my life, which is a very busy life outside of the band. So, yeah.
True, true. Yeah. We've got a question from another question from Lisaboo. She asks, "Do you play other instruments other than the drums?"
Yeah, yeah. I wonder what kind of songs you'd write if you were just playing the drums. Yeah, 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 yeah. Like there's my guitar. There's an acoustic guitar. It's like he- here's a guitar lead because it's plugged into my amplifier that's beside. Here's the main influence, of course.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Right,
He's,
yeah, yeah, come on.
yeah, yeah. Thank you for that, Lisa.
Yeah, I do play other instruments. Yeah, I play bass guitar. I don't play lead guitar very well, but I play rhythm to write songs. Obviously, I can plink and plonk. There's a keyboard in front of me. You can't see it, but hey, I can plink and plonk on that if I have to. But yeah, that's it.
Ooh, ooh. And knowing Lisa Boo, she loves the bass. She
Yeah,
loves,
there you go.
yeah, she
Yeah.
loves, yeah, she loves the bass. Yeah, thank you for that, Lisa. So, have you got any more questions in the chat, guys in the chat? If you've got any more questions, please ask away. Please ask away. So, have you got any advice for people who want to become a musician? Whether it might be for to for themselves, or possibly go down the route of commercial, like the commercial route.
Um, the only advice is, if you play an instrument, if you write songs, then just keep doing it. Um, doing it until you're blue in the face doing it. And trying not to listen to what other people say to you these days, because you know what's inside you. You know you've got something good going, and none of us want to be the same as anybody else, and none of us are the same as anybody else, really. And everybody has got influences, so you know everybody has, even the biggest names on the planet. stole something from someone, didn't they? You know, I think Led Zeppelin are copying it left, right, and centre these days for
Yeah.
but you know, you know. So yeah, don't just follow your gut feeling, what's in your heart, you know, definitely. And I don't know who. I have no advice in telling you who to go to or where to go, but just do that, you know. I'm still trying, and I'm 64. Come on, you know. Here we are.
Yeah.
It never leaves you.
Yeah. Yeah. True. Yeah. So we're going to start wrapping things up. Um, have you got any final words before we start wrapping things up?
Um, no, just if you do see names at any of the gigs or festivals that you're coming to, please come and say hi because we love to see people and talk to people. We really love to play live, and it should be quite an exciting time this Sunday. 2 weeks ago, unfortunately, one of the guitar players left the band, and for life reasons, life gets in the way of everything. And so I have now been promoted to playing rhythm guitar and singing live. So for me, that's a real. I've got to try and remember the lyrics and remember what chords it is that I'm playing backwards. And don't play them backwards, Gary. This is the way they go. So you know, so yeah, that is, you know, that's going to be one crazy time. And I'll come and see us and tell us how I'm getting on. Or maybe don't tell me how I'm getting. Right. Anyway, thank you.
My pleasure. Yeah. So, Gary, thank you so much for coming on and doing this little interview. It's been a complete pleasure. Been a
Yeah,
complete pleasure.
no problem. That's great.
And guys in the chat, if you haven't followed Burnt Out Rec, please go check them out. These guys are absolutely brilliant, and you won't be disappointed. So, again, thank you so much. Thank you so much. And also, Lisaboo says, much luck, Gary. Thank you for coming on. And thanks so much, says Ozzy.
Cheers.
So, guys, until next time, we'll catch you all later.